Hello, and welcome to 40 Plus Wellness, your space for building a life of health, vitality, and clarity, especially in our best years. Today, we need to have a very honest conversation about a fear that often lives in the shadows, a quiet anxiety that can creep in as we get older. It's not necessarily the fear of a specific diagnosis, but rather the fear of losing the very essence of who we are. It's that moment you confidently start to tell a story, only to have a key detail, a name, a place, completely vanish from your mind. It's the unsettling feeling of walking into a room with purpose, only to stand there, lost, wondering what you came for. It's the quiet dread that your mind isn't as sharp as it once was, that your memories, those precious building blocks of your life, might one day start to fade. You've probably felt unwell, but couldn't quite put your finger on why. You've been to the doctor, maybe multiple doctors. You've had the blood tests, the scans, the checkups. And after all of it, you're given a clean bill of health. Your results come back normal. The doctor tells you everything looks fine. But you don't feel fine. You feel exhausted. Your digestion is a mess. You have persistent headaches, aching joints, and you catch every single cold that goes around. This experience is incredibly common, and it can be deeply isolating. It can make you feel like you're imagining it, or that it's just a normal part of getting older that you have to accept. But what if those physical symptoms are not imaginary at all? What if they are real, tangible messages from your body? What if they are the physical manifestation of something that isn't showing up on a blood test? What if your body is simply screaming for help, using the only language it has, in response to a silent epidemic of our modern world, unresolved, chronic stress? I know, the word stress can feel vague. But what we're going to explore today is not an abstract concept. It's a series of concrete, scientifically proven biological pathways through which the emotional and mental pressures of your life directly cause physical illness. And once you understand these pathways, you can begin to heal them. Today, we'll act as health detectives and uncover the three primary pathways through which stress makes us sick, and most importantly, what we can do to start healing today. Pathway number 1, the cortisol overload. The emergency hormone that never turns off. The first and most direct pathway linking stress to sickness is through a hormone you've likely heard of, cortisol. Cortisol is not the enemy. In fact, it's a life-saving hormone. It's the core of our fight or flight response, a brilliant system designed for short-term survival. Imagine our ancestors on the savannah. A lion appears. Immediately, their adrenal glands pump out cortisol. This jacks up their blood sugar to provide instant energy for their muscles, increases their blood pressure to deliver that energy quickly, and crucially, it shuts down all non-essential functions at that moment, like digestion, long-term immunity, and reproduction. This is a perfect system. It allows them to either fight the lion or run for their life. And once the threat is gone, cortisol levels fall, and the body returns to its normal, calm, rest and digest state. The problem is, in our modern world, the lions are everywhere, and they never leave. The lion is the back-to-back Zoom meetings. It's the constant ping of emails on your phone late at night. It's the financial worries, the traffic, the 24-hour news cycle of outrage. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real, life-threatening lion and a looming project deadline. It perceives them both as threats and pulls the same emergency lever. It releases cortisol. But because these modern stressors don't go away, the cortisol never turns off. Your body is living in a permanent, low-grade state of emergency. Let's look at a classic patient case study. We'll call him David, a 55-year-old executive. David is disciplined. He exercises, he tries to eat well, but he's plagued by symptoms. He has stubborn, persistent fat around his midsection that no diet will touch. His blood pressure is creeping up every year. He's tired but wired at night, unable to get deep, restorative sleep. All his tests are normal, but he feels unwell. David's problem isn't a lack of discipline. His body is drowning in cortisol from the chronic, unrelenting pressure of his career. The constant high cortisol is telling his body to keep blood sugar elevated for that emergency, and any excess sugar that isn't used for energy gets stored as visceral fat right around the belly. It's telling his blood vessels to remain constricted, preparing for action, which leads to high blood pressure. And it's disrupting the natural nighttime rhythm of melatonin, his sleep hormone. Cortisol is the get-up-and-go hormone. It should be high in the morning and low at night. Melatonin is the opposite. But when cortisol is still high at 10 p.m. because you're stressing about work, it suppresses melatonin, which is why you can't shut your brain off and get that deep sleep you desperately need. The Masterclass application. Activate your off switch. You cannot eliminate all the stressors in your life, but you can build practices that intentionally activate your body's off switch, the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest mode. 1. Practice the physiological sigh. This is a powerful technique promoted by neuroscientists at Stanford. Anytime you feel stressed, simply take 2 sharp inhales through your nose, one big one, and then another little one on top to fully inflate your lungs, and then follow it with a long, complete exhale through your mouth. Do this just 1 to 3 times. This simple act offloads carbon dioxide efficiently and sends a direct, non-negotiable signal to your brainstem to calm the body down. It is the fastest evidence-based way to turn off the stress response in real time. 2. Schedule nature snacks. You don't need a weekend hiking trip. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day of exposure to a natural environment. A local park, a tree-lined street, even just looking out a window at the sky, has been shown in countless studies to lower cortisol levels. This works because nature provides what's called soft fascination, which gently holds our attention without being demanding, allowing our overstimulated minds to rest and recover. 3. Externalize your worries. A major source of chronic cortisol is rumination, turning worries over and over in your mind. Before you finish your workday, take 5 minutes to do a brain dump. Write down every unfinished task, every worry, every problem on a piece of paper. This act of cognitive offloading tells your brain, I have captured these threats. I don't need to keep them on high alert in my mind anymore. You are giving your nervous system permission to stand down. Pathway number 2. The gut-brain catastrophe. When your second brain is on fire. The second pathway is one of the most exciting and important areas of modern medical research, the gut-brain axis. We now know, with absolute certainty, that there is a constant, two-way superhighway of communication between your brain and your gut. In fact, your gut is often called your second brain. It contains hundreds of millions of neurons and is home to trillions of bacteria, collectively known as your gut microbiome. And this entire ecosystem is exquisitely sensitive to stress. Let's consider another common patient profile. We'll call her Linda, a 45-year-old teacher. For years, she suffered from unpredictable digestive issues, bloating, cramping, a classic case of irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. She's also noticed she's become sensitive to foods like dairy and gluten that never bothered her before. She's tried elimination diets and food journaling, but nothing seems to work consistently. And crucially, her symptoms are always, without fail, worse during stressful periods at school, like before exams or during parent-teacher conferences. Here's the connection. Think of your gut microbiome as a lush, diverse garden. In a healthy state, it's filled with a wide variety of beneficial plants, good bacteria, that help you digest food, produce vitamins, and regulate your immune system. Chronic stress is like spraying that garden with a powerful pesticide. The flood of stress hormones directly kills off your beneficial bacteria. This allows opportunistic weeds, bad bacteria and yeast, to overgrow, creating a state of imbalance called dysbiosis. Furthermore, stress can damage the lining of your intestines. Imagine the garden fence, the barrier between your gut and your bloodstream, breaking down. This is a condition known as increased intestinal permeability or leaky gut. When this protective barrier is compromised, undigested food particles, bacterial toxins, and other inflammatory molecules can leak from your gut into your bloodstream, where they absolutely do not belong. Your immune system sees these particles as foreign invaders and launches a massive inflammatory attack. This systemic inflammation doesn't just stay in your gut. It can travel throughout your body, manifesting as skin problems like eczema or rosacea, causing joint pain and stiffness, and even crossing the blood-brain barrier to cause the very brain fog that Linda was also experiencing. Her gut issues weren't just gut issues, they were whole body issues, triggered by stress. The Masterclass application, Tend to Your Inner Garden. Healing this pathway is about actively reseeding and nurturing your inner garden, especially during times of stress. 1. Incorporate one probiotic food daily. You don't need expensive pills. Just one serving a day of a fermented food introduces beneficial bacteria back into your system. This could be plain yogurt, kefir, a fermented milk drink, sauerkraut, kimchi, or kombucha. Find one you enjoy and make it a habit. 2. Feed your good bacteria with prebiotics. Probiotics are the seeds. Prebiotics are the fertilizer. Your good gut bacteria love to eat prebiotic fiber. Excellent sources are things like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, and oats. The simple act of adding a sliced banana to your morning oatmeal or some garlic to your evening meal is a powerful step in nourishing your internal allies. 3. Practice mindful eating. How you eat is just as important as what you eat. When you are stressed, your body is in fight or flight mode, and digestion is shut down. Eating at your desk while answering emails is a recipe for digestive disaster. Your simple action is to take 3 deep, calming breaths before you begin a meal. And then, aim to chew each bite more than you normally would. This simple practice switches your body back into rest and digest mode and allows your gut to do its job properly. Pathway number 3. The immune system breakdown. Friendly fire on your own body. The third major pathway through which stress makes us physically sick is by causing a profound dysregulation of our immune system. Your immune system is your body's brilliant, sophisticated army, designed to identify and destroy foreign invaders like viruses and bacteria. But this army's performance is directly impacted by your stress levels. Think of it this way. Short-term, acute stress can actually be a good thing for your immune system. If that lion appears on the savannah and you get a cut on your leg, the stress response temporarily sharpens your immune function to prevent infection. It's a short-term boost for an immediate threat. Chronic stress, however, is like forcing your army to fight a relentless, drawn-out war on multiple fronts with no end in sight. The troops become exhausted. The command center, your brain, becomes overwhelmed. The result is a dysfunctional, confused army. This dysfunction manifests in 2 primary ways. First, your exhausted army becomes less effective at fighting off real invaders. It's immunosuppressive. This is why you might notice that you always catch a cold or get the flu right after a major stressful project at work or a difficult family event. Your immune defenses are down, and opportunistic viruses take advantage. Second, and perhaps more insidiously, a confused army can start to make mistakes. It can lose its ability to clearly distinguish between a foreign invader and your body's own healthy tissue. It starts attacking its own citizens. This phenomenon of friendly fire is the basis of autoimmune diseases. For so many people, the onset of their autoimmune condition, be it Hashimoto's thyroiditis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, or multiple sclerosis, can be traced back to a period of intense or prolonged life stress, which acts as a trigger that unleashes this misguided immune attack. The Masterclass application. Support and soothe your inner army. To prevent this breakdown, you need to provide your immune system with the resources and rest it needs to function properly. 1. Prioritize sleep as an immune strategy. Sleep is not optional. It's when your immune system does its most critical repair and regeneration. During deep sleep, your body produces and releases proteins called cytokines, some of which are essential for fighting infection and reducing inflammation. Consistently getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep is the single best way to support your troops. 2. Nourish with immune-specific nutrients. While a balanced diet is key, certain nutrients are like essential supplies for your army. Ensure you're getting enough vitamin C, not from a fizzy powder, but from whole foods like bell peppers, broccoli, strawberries, and citrus fruits. Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, is a powerful modulator of the immune system. And zinc, found in nuts, seeds, and legumes, is critical for the development and function of immune cells. 3. Practice gentle movement, not punishment. While intense exercise is a form of stress on the body, gentle, restorative movement like walking, yoga, or Tai Chi has been shown to reduce inflammation and support immune balance. It stimulates your lymphatic system, your body's drainage network, which helps clear out waste and transport immune cells throughout the body. On days when you feel particularly stressed or run down, choosing a gentle walk over a high-intensity workout can be the wisest choice for your immune health. The tone shifts to a final, summary reflection. The music becomes more uplifting and inspiring. The cortisol overload, the gut-brain catastrophe, and the immune system breakdown. These are the 3 primary, evidence-based pathways through which the unresolved stress in your life can manifest as real, physical illness. Seeing these connections is not a reason to feel more anxious. It is the reason to feel empowered. Your symptoms are not in your head. They are real signals from a body that is doing its absolute best to cope under difficult circumstances. And now, you have the knowledge to understand its language. You have a new set of tools to begin the healing process. This isn't about eliminating stress. That's impossible. It's about building in daily moments of intentional calm. It's about tending to your inner garden. It's about supporting your inner army. To continue this journey with us, make sure you've subscribed and clicked the bell. It's a small click, but it's a big step toward taking back control of your health. Now, to make this real, your homework is simple. Don't try to do everything at once. I'd love for you to share one thought in the comments. What is just one small action you can take this week based on what you've learned? Maybe it's practicing the physiological sigh, or adding a probiotic food, or taking a 5-minute walk during your lunch break. Let us know. Your commitment can be the inspiration someone else needs to see today. Thank you for your time and for your trust. Be the health detective that you and your family deserve.